Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. I warmly welcome everyone to the 7th session of this year's Bhagavad Gita Parayan and Satsang. Let us begin with invocation prayers. May I request Manjula ji to chant the invocation prayers.
I'm so sorry. I was just thinking I'm chanting 9th chapter. Let me just get everything. So sorry. Can someone start off? I'm so sorry. Okay. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidhi Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Thank you so much. I would now like to request Sri Chandran Nair, who is the president of the Singapore Malayali Hindu Samajam, to give a welcome address. For your information, Sri Chandran is, like I said, the president of the Singapore Malayali Hindu Samajam. His other roles in the past are very vast. It includes being the president of the Hindu Aftercare Counseling of Singapore Anti-Narcotics Association. So really helping those who are in trouble, who are underprivileged, who have, helping them become better in life. He is also the vice president of Sri Narayana Mission. And for the last few years, he has been an active volunteer at the Dover Park Hospice. So a life of seva. Welcome, Sri Chandran Nair ji. Please.
Thank you very much. Without much ado, a very warm welcome to all participating in the online Srimad Bhagavad Gita Parayan and Satsang. I understand this is session 7. Let me give you a brief on the Singapore Malayali Hindu Samajam. Samajam, the word Samajam means society. This Samajam is 99 years old today, or this year. It was formed in 1926. And the primary reason for its existence then was to support the community with funeral needs and expenses. And today, over the years, its primary role is the promotion of Hinduism. And our primary flagship event every year is the Magara Valakku celebration, in honor of Swami Ayyappan. And now going forward, in believing in the saying that hands that serve is holier than lips that pray, we hope to expand ourselves into welfare activities for the benefit of society at large. Um, uh, Coming back to the Gita Parayan, the recitation of the entire Srimad Bhagavad Gita, um, we all believe that the recitation will purify the mind, protect from obstacles, provide guidance for life, and lead to liberation. Now, with that, I pray that your chanting will generate, or our chanting will generate spiritual vibration that will benefit society at large. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chandran Nair ji, for continually supporting Gita Jayanti, continually supporting all of our activities, and for also letting us know a little bit about the Malayali Hindu Samajam. Very interesting to know that it is 99 years old and you're approaching the century mark. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will now have the chanting of the Gita Dhyanam, followed by the of chapters 9 and 10, followed by Gita Mahatmyam. We have two excellent chanters here joining us today, Srimati Manjula Chikoti and Sri Veena Sriram. Thank you so much for volunteering your time and for joining us for the chanting. Let me just bring up the slokas so that we can all follow the chanting together. Over to you, Manjula ji.
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयत्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी स्तोतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितं लोके सज्जन लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ नवमोऽध्यायः राजविद्या राजगुह्ययोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् राजविद्या राजगुह्यं पवित्रमिदमुत्तमं प्रत्यक्षावगमं धर्म्यं सुसुखं कर्तुमव्ययम् अश्रद्धधानाः पुरुषाः धर्मस्यास्य परन्तप अप्राप्य मां निवर्तन्ते मृत्युसंसारवर्त्मनि मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगदव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न चाहं तेष्वस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वरम् भूतभृन्न च भूतस्थः ममात्मा भूतभावनः यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र गोमहान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारय सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहं प्रकृतिं स्वामवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्राममिमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात् न च मां तानि कर्माणि निबध्नन्ति धनञ्जय उदासीनवदासीनम् असक्तं तेषु कर्मसु मयाध्यक्षेण प्रकृतिः सूयते सचराचरम् हेतुनानेन कौन्तेय जगद्विपरिवर्तते अवजानन्ति मां मूढाः मानुषीं तनुमाश्रितं परं भावमजानन्तः मम भूतमहेश्वरं मोघाशामोघकर्माणः मोघज्ञानाविचेतसः राक्षसीमासुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसः ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययं सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानयज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो मामुपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वधाहमहमौषधम् मन्त्रोऽहमहमेवाज्यम् अहमग्निरहं हुतं पिताहमस्य जगतः माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रमोङ्कारः ऋक्सामयजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तपाम्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्चाहमर्जुन त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः पूतपापाः यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान् ते तं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्नाः गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ताः यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्याः यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि मां पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्युपहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत्तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलैरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेषोऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत् सुदुराचारः भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितो हि सः क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थव्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यास्तथा शूद्राः तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम् किं पुनर्ब्राह्मणाः पुण्याः भक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यमसुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मत्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मानं मत्परायणः ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे राजविद्या राजगुह्ययोगो नाम नवमोऽध्यायः हरिः ओम्।
अथ दशमोऽध्यायः विभूतियोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया न मे विदुः सुरगणाः प्रभवन्न महर्षयः अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थ्येषु सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोहः क्षमा सत्यं दमः शमः सुखं दुःखं भवो भावः भयं च भयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिः तपोदानं यशो यशः भवन्ति भावा भूतानां मत्त एव पृथक्विधाः महर्षयः सप्त पूर्वे चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मद्भावा मानसा जाताः येषां लोक इमाः प्रजाः एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सोऽविकम्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवः मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भावसमन्विताः मच्चित्ता मद्गतप्राणाः बोधयन्तः परस्परं कथयन्तश्च मां नित्यं तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगन्तं येन मामुपयान्ति ते तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहमज्ञानजन्तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थः ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता अर्जुन उवाच परं ब्रह्म परं धाम पवित्रं परमं भवान् पुरुषं शाश्वतं दिव्यम् आदिदेवमजं विभुम् आहुस्त्वामृषयः सर्वे देवर्षिर्नारदस्तथा असितो देवलो व्यासः स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे सर्वमेतदृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवानदानवाः स्वयमेवात्मनात्मानं वेत्थ त्वं पुरुषोत्तम भूतभावनभूतेश देवदेव जगत्पते वक्तुमर्हस्य शेषेण दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः याभिर्विभूतिभिर्लोकान् इमांस्त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि कथं विद्यामहं योगिन् त्वां सदा परिचिन्तयन् केषु केषु च भावेषु चिन्त्योऽसि भगवन्मया विस्तरेणात्मनो योगं विभूतिं च जनार्दन भूयः कथय तृप्तिर्हि शृण्वतो नास्ति मे मृतम् श्रीभगवानुवाच हन्त ते कथयिष्यामि दिव्या ह्यात्मविभूतयः प्राधान्यतः कुरु श्रेष्ठ नास्त्यन्तो विस्तरस्य मे अहमात्मा गुडाकेश सर्वभूताशयस्थितः अहमादिश्च मध्यं च भूतानामन्त एव च आदित्यानामहं विष्णुः ज्योतिषां रविरंशुमान् मरीचिर्मरुतामस्मि नक्षत्राणामहं शशी वेदानां सामवेदोऽस्मि देवानामस्मि वासवः इन्द्रियाणां मनश्चास्मि भूतानामस्मि चेतना रुद्राणां शङ्करश्चास्मि वित्तेषो यक्षरक्षसां वसूनां पावकश्चास्मि मेरुः शिखरिणामहम् पुरोधसाञ्च मुख्यं मां विद्धि पार्थ बृहस्पतिं सेनानीनामहं स्कन्दः सरसामस्मि सागरः महर्षीणां भृगुरहं गिरामस्म्येकमक्षरं यज्ञानाञ्जपयज्ञोऽस्मि स्थावराणां हिमालयः अश्वत्थः सर्ववृक्षाणां देवर्षीणां च नारदः गन्धर्वाणां चित्ररथः सिद्धानां कपिलो मुनिः उच्चैश्रवसमश्वानां विद्धि माममृतोद्भवम् ऐरावतं गजेन्द्राणां नराणां च नराधिपम् आयुधानामहं वज्रं धेनूनामस्मि कामधुक् प्रजनश्चास्मि कन्दर्पः सर्पाणामस्मि वासुकिः अनन्तश्चास्मि नागानां वरुणो यादसामहं पितॄणामर्यमा चास्मि यमः संयमतामहं प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालः कलयतामहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणां पवनः पवतामस्मि रामः शस्त्रभृतामहं झषाणां मकरश्चास्मि स्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी सर्गाणामादिरन्तश्च मध्यं चैवाहमर्जुन अध्यात्मविद्या विद्यानां वादः प्रवदतामहम् अक्षराणामकारोऽस्मि द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च अहमेवाक्षयः कालः धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः मृत्युः सर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवश्च भविष्यताम् कीर्तिः श्रीर्वाक् च नारीणाम् स्मृतिर्मेधा धृतिः क्षमा बृहत्साम तथा साम्नाम् गायत्री छन्दसामहम् मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहम् ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः द्यूतञ्छलयतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम् जयोऽस्मि व्यवसायोऽस्मि सत्त्वं सत्त्ववतामहम् वृष्णीनां वासुदेवोऽस्मि पाण्डवानां धनञ्जयः मुनीनामप्यहं व्यासः कवीनामुशना कविः दण्डो दमयतामस्मि नीतिरस्मि जिगीषताम् मौनं चैवास्मि गुह्यानां ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतामहम् यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तदहमर्जुन न तदस्ति विना यत् स्यात् मया भूतं चराचरम् नान्तोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां परन्तप एष तूतेशतः प्रोक्तः विभूतेर्विस्तरो मया यद्यद् विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमदूर्जितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंशसम्भवम् अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत् ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे विभूतियोगो नाम दशमोऽध्यायः। ॐ अथ गीतामाहात्म्यम् गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जितः गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानन्दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्मात् विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्रात् विनिसृतम् गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा ॐ तत्सत् हरिः ओम् श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Thank you, Manjula ji, and thank you, Veena ji, for that very soulful rendition of chapters 9 and 10. We will now proceed to the next part of the Gita Parayan and Satsang. We would like to invite Sri Sunil Kumar ji to deliver the session lecture on chapters 9 and 10. Sunil ji is very well known to all of us. He is the chief priest for all of the Gita Jayanti activities. He has conducted numerous Gita Havans over the years. He continues to teach shlokas, continues to teach Sanskrit to a lot of people in Singapore, and he is a committee member of the Gita Jayanti committee too. So, Sunil ji, warm welcome. Floor is yours. Please enlighten us on the meanings of the Gita from chapters 9 and 10.
Hari Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyayamo Dhavalava Gunthanavatim, Tejomayim Naishthigim, Snitha Pangavilokinim Bhagavatim, Mandasmida Shri Mukhim, Vatsalyamritavarshinim Bhagavatim, Sumathuram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangim Madhusikta Suktim Amridanandatmikam Ishwarim Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankhayade Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. My humble salutation at the lotus feet of Shri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, who is none but ocean of love, and for me, as revelation of truth, nothing but interpretation, illustration of Gita. As Krishna says in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. As in the course of time, when there is the virtues of existence diminish, there appears myself to uplift and bring back the balance of the virtues. Here, Vedanta is negating or teaching us about the unreal aspect of the perceptive world and establishing us in the oneness. So here, exactly worshipping the Lord, worshipping Mother is not worshipping dead matter, but worship of pure consciousness, which is pure love. As in the Veda, it says, Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. The love of the self for the self is actually pure love. And here, the cosmic mother, Karunamayi, represents, as in the invocation itself, it says, Ambe, Tam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. Here, immanent is none but the Paramatma who has manifested as mother. Before I get into the subject, I am a seeker, a student of Gita, not a scholar, but out of interest to learn, I'm actually trying to enumerate some of the experience. And these two chapters have taken about half an hour to chant, and each words, which is none but primordial energy, the 50 alphabets, who is none but Matrikavarna Rupini, Divine Mother of Cosmos, Amba. Also, great masters say Todiyam Vagiyam. The words are nothing but of Divine Mother's form by which we get all the spiritual sciences. So it is nothing but commentary of the master who live and express love, pure love, which is nothing but, according to all the religions, it is pure love is God. In Advaita, there is Dvaita in Advaita, not two. So here, the difference is nothing but Bheda Chinta Avidya. Seeing difference in the species is actually avidya. As per spiritual deep meaning, when we feel separate from the Purna, separate from Brahman, we feel that difference. So in human journey, end result is actually transcending the differences. Differences transcend, as Krishna says elsewhere, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschamsti tattvadaha tadomam tattvado jnatva vishade tadanantaram. That pure divine romance, which is the embodiment of Lord Krishna pen pictured by Vedavyasa, actually is Lord Krishna. When Raga tends to become Anuraga, seeing God in front, back, and sides, in everywhere, as this immanent universe is nothing but Radha, which is pure devotion, pure love. When we experience that, we experience the Lord according to Gita, according to enlightened masters. So here in this Bhagavad Gita, which is the manual of life, the four accomplishments, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, which is actually steps and gradations, will take us to moksha while in the body, according to the scriptures and enlightened masters. The first three is negated in the later part, because to reach that moksha status, which is liberating from the clutches of the mind, out of ignorance, seeing the difference, and the sankalpa, which God's sankalpa of a human who wanted to become one with the Lord, is to know the Purnatva, which is seeded in the most evolved being human as Bodhadeva consciousness. So enlightening and teaching and understanding or imparting the knowledge and love, which is nothing but essence of Sanatana Dharma, which is well depicted in Bhagavad Gita in different levels from the beginning, a true seeker, Arjuna, who is seeking the Lord after surrendering unto his feet. So here, coming back to the 9th chapter, first of all, I pray to Mother that any utterings that which is actually abstract or in mistake, I actually taking apology first and to understand it with correctness. So here, before it is being said, Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yogaha. It is 9th chapter, Navamam, which gives us freshness. Navami, Dashami, Egadashi, and it goes to Dwadashi. Here we can see in the next chapter, Vibhuti Vistara Yogaha, glories of the Lord. He himself says that there is nothing other than me, but for a sadhaka, a seeker to experience that, we have to understand divinity in all creation. So he enumerates the best in the creation as his vibhuti, which we could see after when the student is fit enough to experience in the Egadasha, he shows actually the cosmic vision to the Lord, to Arjuna. So here, Rajavidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, it says, this is idam tude guhyatamam pravaksham anasuyave. Indeed, this is a royal secret. Secret here, as Acharya says, that which is repeatedly explained, could not be understood, is actually secret. That God principle, which make me to talk, everyone to listen, all movements are happening because of that consciousness, ever present, Sachidananda. To experience that, one has to regulate, control, and try to revel in that Nischala Tattva, which is one's own true nature. So here it says Guhyatamam means it is a secret that which cannot be understood without transcending the limitations of the sense organs and mind. Vakshyami, pravakshyami, prakarshena vashyami, anasuyave. If there is a world separate from us, we will have this envy, we will have this cavil born out of conceit and jealousy. Spiritually, we will see the difference. So when we experience the Purnatva one with Paramatma, Aham Brahmasmi Tattva, we transcend this envy. So in this journey, it could be understood and experienced by a person who has transcended this asuya. And I would explain to you Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam, which is enumerated in the Shastras, the discipline which called Jnanam here, and Vijnana is actually experience of it, by knowing which one can liberate from all the inauspiciousness. As we have seen, that is the first verse, and here Krishna says, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, pavitramidam uttamam pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avvyam. We have seen this is Rajavidya, royal knowledge and royal secret, which is pure and it is superlative degree uttamam, which is because it is ultimate goal of knowing and experiencing, the ultimate goal of life. Pratyaksha avagamam, which can be directly apprehended, and dharmyam, which is the essence of all the virtues of existence, susukham kartum avyam, which can be attained easily, those who constantly follow the path and contemplating on that knowledge, which is or ever available, which is imperishable, eternal, and sanatana. And Krishna says, Ashraddhadhana Purushaha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapyamam Nivartande Mrityu Samsaravatmani. This is Ashraddhadhana Purushaha, one who is not giving attention to this particular ever-present supreme self-knowledge as enlightened by the Vedas as Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahma, essence of the four Vedas, and knowing that and experiencing it, if one's Shraddha, attention, is not on that law of self-knowledge, aprapya, without having experiencing it, he or she has to continue his transmigratory world, mrityu samsara. Here, as Krishna says in before, that jadasya dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mridasya cha. At the time of death, one experiencing that fear of death, he has to jadasya dhruvo, he experiences or knowing that he has born, then he has to die. If he is transcended and knowing that the self nature of one's own self, which is beyond birth and death, then there is no death for him. For ordinary human beings like us, we are actually going and coming back because we have attachment to this material world, the sensual pleasures, and the entanglement of the mind to the objects of the universe, the names and forms, which is actually giving us a lot of actually obstacles. Here Krishna says that one who is not giving his attention to that self-knowledge, he has to come back to this material world. And one who is devoid of Shraddha, this particular dharma not followed, he has to come back to this material world. Here in this few chapter, in the next verse, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina mastani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avasthitaha. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtinaha. Krishna says in the coming chapter that avyakta hi gadir dukham dehavat bhiravapyate. Here behind everything, as in Bhagavata, if I'm not wrong, akhande sachidanande namarupa prasaranaha srishtihi. That one and absolute bliss, absolute consciousness, and absolute truth, upon which that which is one without second, appearance of the name and forms are the Srishti. So in that Srishti Tattva, here Avyakta Murti is that Bodhadeva, who is none but the Lord. Here Krishna himself says, Maya, and I, when Krishna says this Akhanda Sachidananda principle is being uttered. So here he says, Maya Tadamidam, I am pervaded and entire cosmos as an Avyakta Murti, unmanifested, and Mastani on me, Sarva Bhutani, all these bhutas, these creatures, names and forms appearing on me, and I am not in them. That's what Krishna says in this verse. And again, he goes about more subtlety on the subject. Najamastani bhutani pashyame yogam aishwaram bhuta brunnaja bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavana. Actually, he himself says, in me, these names and forms are not dwelling. Because of his divine yoga, he is supporting the beings, but he is not attached. That's why Acharya says asangoyam purushaha. It enlightens about the Nischala Tattva, which is the Paramatma Tattva, which ever present, omnipotent, sarvajnaha sarvavid, which is always there, on which these names and forms are appearing, is actually, he has no entanglement with the names and forms. As simile says, yadhagasha sthido nityam vayu sarvatrago mahan tatha sarvani bhutani mastani tyupadharaya. Here he says, as the vayu, which is sarvatrago mahan vayu sarvatraha, likewise tatha sarvani bhutani mastani tyupadharaya, as the great mighty wind which is everywhere moving and resting in Akasha. O Arjuna, know me that all the beings rest in me. Actually, it is an appearance, as in the next verse it says, Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpadau Visrajamyaham. Here, by Lord's Sankalpa, when the course of time where there is dissolution happens, names and forms actually goes back to his Prakriti. As we know, here, without Prakriti, without Mother, without Shakti, there is no experience possible. Here, if we take into Mother's adoration in Lalita Sahasranama, Vashinyadi Vagdevda, starting with adoring Mother as Srimatra, who is actually Mother of the universe, and ends it by saying, elucidating all the infinite nature of the Mother, who is none but the consort of the power holder, and ends saying that Shiva Shakti Swarupini Namaha, Samarasya, the equanimity, or seeing that oneness with, as in the Vedanta, it said that Drishya is Brahma, Drishya is actually Maya, but without Maya, a being cannot experience the Drik. That experiential level, without Shakti, one cannot. That's why one of the texts said, Shakti Jnanam Vina Devi Muktir na labhyade. As Lord Shiva says to Parvati, without having power of knowledge, one cannot experience, understand the truth. So here in these verses, again, these secrets of the spiritual truth is being explained because of the power of the Lord. The power and the power holder is not two. It's being repeated by great masters, and they express them also. And it goes, he, the Lord, Sri Krishna Bhagavan, Najamam Tani Karmani, Nibadhranti Dhananjaya, Udasina Vadasina Saktam Teshu Karmasu. He is being a witness. None of these movements, they're in the Akhanda Sachidananda Vastu, there cannot be any movements according to Vedanta, as if we say Parinama Vivartavata, Anvaya Vedirega, as well as actually all these Adhyaropa Apavata, all the Vedantic words which says that in that Akhanda Sachidananda Vastu, there cannot be any spantana and they negate it. But here for a seeker, he has to abide the laws of the Prakriti in discipline to reach that shore of oneness. Here Krishna says, my true nature is actually udasina, indifferent. I am a witness. Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Suyade Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. Here, O son of Kunti, in my proximity, actually, mother, the power, Prakriti, produces all that what we see, perceive, and moving, the world therefore revolves. It repeats by the substractum is nothing but Paramatma Tattva. And here again he says the person who deviates from the path because of ignorance on vain hopes, actually that verse says that mokhasha, mokha karmano, mokha jnana vichedasaha, rakshasim asurim chaiva, prakritim mohinishridaha. That because of one who indulge in material pleasures, and that action, what we call as achara, char means to move towards oneself, not an external journey. We have actually dropped our hand holding that true knowledge, who is none but mother's hand, and strayed out far. So if we do that and stray away from that discipline, what will happen is this actions does not give its fruition. Like what? The vain knowledge, ignorance, which takes us away from that oneness of one's own true nature, and we stray out to the material world and go away from that bliss, which is one's own true nature. And without discrimination, as we will see here, sadhana chatushtaya sambatti, which being also inserted here, without discrimination, nityanitya vastu vivegaha, ihamutra bhalabhoga viragaha, shamadhi shatka sambattu mumukshutvam. One who do not want to liberate from the bondages, he or she actually without discrimination partake all this delusive nature and will lose his actual divine exposition, which is being enumerated here. And again, the better ones, Mahatmanas Tumam Partha, the great ones, those who are initiated, those who have actually determined themselves to reach the shore of that bliss, they Devim Prakritim Ashridaha. They follow the rules of divine mother, this particular Atma Vidya, Mahavidya, as it said, Sri Vidya, Kama Sevita, being adorned by Lord Shiva himself, adores that divine mother of cosmos, which is nothing but the supreme knowledge. And Prakritim Ashridaha, Bhajanti Ananya Manasa, Nyatva Bhutadim Abhyam. Without having actually pointed with single-mindedness, knowing me, knowing that Krishna is the substratum of all the experiences and he is ever present and source of all the beings, they worship Sri Krishna with this understanding. And here he says, Sadadam Kirtayanto Mam, Yadandascha Dridhabradaha, Namasyandyascha Mam Bhaktya, Nitya Yukta Upasate. The path of devotion, they always glorify the Lord by singing his name. As an incident when in Kerala, when Kururamma was chanting during her impurity period, as Villamangal Swamiyar approached her as seeing her chanting the mantra during that period, and she replied, asked actually why you are doing this. Then she said, if I die now, what will happen? So like that, those who know the secret, they chant the name of the Lord reflect upon the meaning of that mantra, it says, Mantra Shastra says, Mananam Toshanam Shaujam, Mananam Mandrartha Chindanam. That Mandrartha Chindana, reflecting upon the meaning of the mantra, which will liberate Mananal Trayate iti mantraha, Sadadam Kirtayanto Mam, Yadandascha Dridhabradaha. They determine, after determining the goal as actually total liberation, they strive for that, and they also prostrate to the Lord, bhaktya, with devotion. And Nitya Yukta Upasade. We can see this Nitya Yuktada, they are steadfast and consistent in their seeking to attain the Lord, who is none but bliss and happiness. So here, and saying the different types of devotees, Jnana Yena Chapyanni, Yajante Mam Upasate, Egatvena Prithaktena Bahutha Vishwado Mukham. We have seen that Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati, Bhakti, by experiencing the self, you can see me around. As Krishna, actually Arjuna asking, Evam Paryupasate, Paryupasana, seeing everything as divine and experiencing it, then we can experience Krishna in all directions. That word being used here by saying Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. And Yavan Yaschamsi Tattvadaha, by knowing and experiencing the Tattva, which is Tad Tvam Iti Anubhava. With that Anubhava, we can know the greatness, the width, and who am I and where all this came from. These mighty questions can be answered by Tattva Jnana, which is an Tadomam Tattvado Jnatva Vishadeta Danantaram. After having known me in Tattva, they slowly abide in me, which is being said. So, Jnana Jnana Chapinne Jante Mam Upasate. They upasana, they try to sit with me. Egatvena Prithaktwena Bahutho Vishwado Mukham. Various ways as the distinct and by which is as the all-faced. That's why it's being said he is all-faced. And it goes like that as Krishna says again, it reaching to that knowledge, which is the secret knowledge. Aham kradur aham yajnaha, sodhaham aham aushatham, mandroham ahamevajyam, aham agnid aham hutam. Here repeatedly says the I sound, which later he says, aham atma gudakesha. I am adadi vyapnoti, all pervaded. Substratum of the entire visible universe is nothing but me alone. So here he enumerates saying that Aham Kratuhu, this particular yajna, Vedic ritual is called Kratu, and I am the sacrifice. I am Sotha when it comes to mains, the yajna for Pidrus. I am the medical herb. I am the mantra. I am the clarified butter. I am the fire. I am the oblation. So in fact, we have seen this in 4th chapter saying Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir. Everything is nothing but that Brahmavastu who is been pictured here as Lord Krishna. Out of devotion, come to know that I am, as Krishna utters, saying that Paramatma Vastu is nothing but all this. And I am the Pidahamasya Jagadaha. I am the father of this Jayade Gacha Bhadi, this Jagat, which inflects in coming and going. I am mother, Dada, Pitamaha. I am the dispenser, grandfather, and knowable. To know anything to be known is nothing but me. Vedyam Pavitram Omkaram. And among the mantras, the king mantra is nothing but Om, because A Uma severally joined, and which gives actually Brahmajnana for all the yogis and sannyasins from Kailas to Cape Comorin, they chant this Omkara, as we have seen that in Gayatri Sadhana, which is actually sharpening the intellect and focusing on Atma Sadhana, which bringing us to know the nature of Lord Krishna. We have to tame from childhood, as in India, which is a daily practice, Trikala Sandhyavantana, chanting Gayatri Mantra to sharpen the intellect to comprehend that incomprehensible, by which we will to automatically entering to, by Guru's grace, Atma Sadhana, which is being said here in this verse. Om represents that very powerful mantra, which has the seed of all the knowledges enumerated in Sanatana Dharma, and Rig, Sama, Yajurevata. All these three, Trayi, we say that Rig, Yajus, Sama, Veda. And Atharvana Veda is not said here because it is a practical side of this. And in Hinduism alone, we can see not only the theory, but applied part to reach or to experience that which is mentioned in the Veda, Veti, the Veda, to know true self, to know oneself, one revelations of truth, which is being handed down by Lord himself through great rishis, which Krishna enumerates later, is actually Veda. And here he says, I am everything of this, that Rigyeju Sama, and it goes, I am Gedi, Bharta, Prabhu, Sakshi, I am the witness, I am the path, I am actually Nivasaha, Sharanam, I am the refuge, Suhurt, friend, Prabhava, Pralayasthanam, Nithanam, Bijam, Abhyam. Nothing to say. Here Krishna says, I am the foundation, the treasure house, and the seed of imperishable. That which entire names and forms appear in me. Because of that, Bodhadeva, everything actually functions. And if he disappears, that heat and light and love which disappears from one form where it perishes. So here Krishna repeatedly says, I am everything. And then Tapapmyaham Varsham, and all those Amritam Chaiva Mrityuscha Sadasajjaham Arjuna, Sachaham Arjuna, that heat which actually make us to live. I withhold and send forth rain. I am the cause of all the happenings in this cosmos, and I'm the mortality and death. That might be the reason in Upanishad, Rishis uttered Shrunandu Vishwe Amridasya Putraha, and enlightened masters picked up Sanskrit, which is in its profundity, this Garvani Deva Bhasha, which is more refined, Samyak Kridam, in which Samyak knowledge is being given. So here Krishna says that immortal bliss, deathlessness, which is our true nature, one has to dig and establish in that which is being said here. I am being as well as non-being, and O Arjuna. And again he says that Travidyamam Sobhava Pudabhava Yajnerištva Surgadim Prarthende Te Punyamasya Suredra Lokan. Here he says one who is actually after steadfast in the Vedic culture, as we practice all these daily routines like puja, havan, all those things, one who is actually using this particular karma kanda of the Veda and stuck in that will not be reaching the shore. He says that, and one who gets up by doing sadhana or worshipping the Lord, we may get many accomplishments, or what we call as material pleasures, punya. After experiencing it, exhausting is one has to come back to the mortal world again. That is what being said in this. So call is to transcend the karma kanda and enter into the jnana kanda and experiencing the Lord forever. And for that here Krishna says, ananyas chindayanto mam yejanaha paryupasade tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Those seekers, sadhakas, who worship me alone. Here it says that very difficult because that avyakta hi gadir dukkham. Dehavat bhiravapyate. One who is embodied, it is difficult to worship that unseen or unmanifested, that principle. So, but here it says by repeated practice, one could control the mind, which is the cause of bondage and liberation, and who always be objectless awareness, thinking of none other than the Lord. By knowing his glories and devoted to him, he will give them gain as well as security, it says. They will transcend helping their fear. That is what Krishna says here. Yanya devata bhaktaha yajande shraddhayanyudaha tepi mameva kaundeya yajande avithi purvakam. Here it says when we see diversity, even if we start worshipping different gods, which has given as per the Shastras in our true Hindu tradition, Mahaganapati and all, if we see that form dhyana as well as the ritual attributed to each deities, which enlighten saying that they alone exist. When we talk about Ganapati, Ganapati is Brahma Swarupa. Even Subramanya, Sushtuhu Brahmanyam Asti the Subramanya. Vishnu, Veveshti the Vishnu. The enumeration, what we call etymology, says all those gods are enlightened, actually, the Paramatma Tattva, one who understands that Krishna, the Paramatma, who is behind all these names and forms, which is attributed qualities to all these Devi Devas, who worships Devi Devas also, worshipping Lord Krishna, Krishna alone. Aham hi sarva jnanam bhokta ja prabhurevaja. I am who enjoyer of all the yajnas and everything. Without knowing my true nature in real, they fail. It says that tatvena the chavantite. One who is not understanding Krishna is in principle. They will they get into chuti, actually fall. As one of the verse says here, that bhumaus kalidapatanam bhumirevavalampanam toi jadabaradhanam tuameva sharanam shive. That feeling as I have fallen, there is two fall, one is birth, and after birth, that Paramatma Tattva from the Brahmarantra falls to Muladhara. That's also a fall, and lifespan is given to awake that latent power and help to pierce through the centers of awareness and bringing us to the submit top of the human trunk, as Shastra enumerates, saying that goal of life. So here it is being said that one who, without knowing the true meaning of Krishna Tattva, they will actually fall back, and Krishna Smaranam is actually the way to uplift oneself, understanding as its principle. And here it says, Yanti Devavrata Devan, Bhudan Yanti Pidavradaha, Bhudani Yanti Bhudejya, Yanti Madhyajino. All this being said, actually in the species kingdoms may be attributed qualities, mighty imaginations given by the great rishis of the yore. All those practices, if we worship according to our conscious level, this gamut of energies, we will actually attain them. But one who knows that only one supreme consciousness, as Krishna, who is the true attractor of all individual soul into that oceanous mercy or what bliss, he who actually reaches the shore, Madhyajinopi Mam, Krishna says. And here coming back, he says, all our daily routines like patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayadatmanaha. With the devotion, knowing this truth, one who offer leaves, tulasi leaves like pushpam, the flowers, phalam, fruits, toyam, water, which is being used in the tradition. Other text which says that water symbolizes all the holy waters, which is nothing but wisdom here, which flows down as gurus give this knowledge to disciple, like the water flows down, which symbolizes here knowledge. And here Gantham is nothing but Satsanga, getting in touch with the truth. And Pushpam is actually Akasha Tattva, control of sense organs, all the elemental Prithvi, Apu, Tejasu, Vayu, Akasham. And it's in human psyche, all those sense organs and its qualities transcending that symbolizes the Pushpam, and its Bhalam is actually, we know, the fruit, and every fruit bud is actually the first thing. That's why the flower Pushpam Bhalasya Hetuhu. It says we in our tradition, flowers are used to adore and worship the Lord, which is nothing but connecting the devotee and the Lord, the seen and unseen principle, as well as Dhupa is transcending the 6 enemies, which is predominant in Kali Yuga, Kama, Krodha, Laupa, Moha, Mada, Malsarya, by which actually we see the world is in turmoil. And when we correct ourselves and transcend the 6 enemies within, which symbolizes the Dhuba, and Diba is Chitkala, which is the conscious light shone before the Lord, as Adi Shankara says, that it is just showing the candle at the blazing sun. So that act of adoration is being done, and Nivedya is Samarasya, Shiva Shakti or Radha Krishna Samyoga, and Arati is nothing but total surrender, which is also symbolically being said. And as we adore and worship the Lord with bhakti, Krishna says, I will, with love, I take offerings from one who is pure in heart, being said. So here concludes by saying, Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yadjuhoshi, dadasi Yet tapasyasi kaundeya tatkurushva madarpanam, which is actually a real piece of advice by Krishna to Arjuna. Whatever you do, yet karoshi, whatever you eat, consume to sustain your body, yet juhoshi, what you oblate, the dasi you give as alms, yet tapasyasi, even the penance you do, kaundeya, o son of Kunti, tatkurushva, you submit, surrender to me. This is ultimate piece of advice by Krishna to all devotees. And here, always it says that, we always pray, not me, you are the truth. And by that surrendering word, actually, Krishna says how to discipline oneself. And here Shubha Shubha Bhalereva Mokshade Karma Bandhanehi Sannyasi Yukta Vimukto Mamubeshyasi. And transcending this auspicious and inauspicious, this divisions, this duality, and one who transcends, they liberate from this bondage of karma, and slowly they become renunciant by renouncing the world actually as it is. It is not actually, it is wisdom also. That's why Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkindya jagatyam jagattena tektena bunjitha. It says that here when we actually bloom in wisdom and everything is divine, here nothing to renounce in reality. Sannyasa yoga, which is being attained by without attaching to the karma. Vimukto mamupeshyasi, they will attain me actually by renunciation and got liberated, being said. And he also says by high principle, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu, I am even equal in all existence. There is no ups and downs. There is no actually high and low. Here he says that divisions are divisions when we feel separate from the Lord. That's why we just celebrated Krishna Jayanti, which is the Purnanubhava day of a seeker. And Krishna himself, who is actually transcended and immanent to say, with Radha Krishna, Radha is devotion and the way to Krishna. As we grow in that, we will experience Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I am actually equal into all beings. There is no hate and hateful as well as dear to me because I am even. And also, ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, one who adore and worship me with devotion. Devotion here means seeing Lord as everything, and mai te te shuchapyaham. I am in them, they are in me, Krishna says, and it goes like, and one who is not, duracharaha here means one who traveled out from the truth because indulging in the worldly pleasures and they lost the way. And once they come to know this truth and they do the discipline to come back home kind of thing, Atmanishta, they will actually slowly attain Samyak Vavasidohi Saha. They will be again come back and hook to me, this one without the second. And here is Sipram Bhavadi Dharmatma Shashwat Chantim Nigachati Kaundeya Pradijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. One who continuously adore and worship that a single tattva, which is nothing but Paramatma, again and again, they will actually Dharmatma, one who Dharmyam or the essence of virtues of existence, nothing but dharmasya prabhurachyutaha. In the beginning of Vishnu Sahasranama, we can see that Prabhu, the Lord of all dharma, is none but the Lord himself, who is the cause of all existence. One who worship the Lord by knowing it, then what happens is that devotee will never perish. He says they will never fall to this mortal world again. Mam hi partha vibhashritya yebisyu papayonaha striyo vaishyastatha shudraha tvepi yanti param gatim. And he says, all those who take in refuge in me, even if those who are inferior in birth, women's, all those other varnas, they will actually attain the supreme goal. Then what about, he says in the next verse, Punar Brahmanaha. That's why in Mahabharata there is a word which says, Edad Desha Prasudasya Sakashad Agrajanmanaha Somsom Charitram Shiksheran Prithivyam Sarvamanavaha. This particular Bhuganda, Bharata, where self-knowledge is actually, this Atma Vidya is more focused. That could be Somsam Charitram Shuksheran, Koham Kudo Jagadidam. This Charitra, one's own history, which is his story, has to be seated at the feet of Brahmanas. This great thing is actually, Brahmanas is adorable because they are disciplined. By discipline, one will become Dvija, and by chanting and learning Veda, one will become Brahmana and experiencing it. So they are endowed with punya, merits. That merits actually they given will actually give to the society and uplift others, integrate others, the great masters, those who stands for this light and love, which is nothing but Paramatma, and Mother, who is none but pure love. Paramatma is Prakasha, which we can call as Vimarsha, and here otherwise translated as light and love, which represents this universe. The Lord of the universe is none but actually that Krishna Tattva. And he can conclude by saying, this chapter, Manmana Bhava Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mameva Ishyasi Yuktevam Atmanam Matparayanaha. He says to Arjuna, fix your mind on me, be devoted to me, sacrifice unto me, bow down to me. This is all actually very strict discipline being set by the compassionate master, and by which you establish in me, you will become Atmanishta, the great goal of life, you will come to me. So the greatest thing is actually Atmanishta, and all other acharas moving towards the self is acharas. And when we abide on the self, we actually get the fruition of the words uttered by the great compassionate master of the universe. Even the living masters are guiding us to that course in reality. So here, by this ends the 9th chapter, which is nothing but which helps us to become fresh, Nava, and to lead a life of actually austerity, and the end result will be abiding on the self. Next one, Vibhuti Yoga. Here again, I doubt actually we can touch that. He again says, Krishna, Bhuyeva Mahabaho, Shunume Paramam Vajaha, Iteham Priyamanaya, Vakshyami Hita Kamya. He says, because of my liking, desire to you, I wish to speak about my glories, the supreme word, Krishna says. And he says that Namevidu Suragana Prabhavam cha Maharshaya Aham Adirhi Devanam Maharshinam cha Sarvasha. In Bhagavad as well as Gita and in the Upanishads repeatedly says that Ahameva Asid, that Aham Padarthaha, that I here when Krishna says is about the supreme self, the Bodhadeva, which reflects in many, but that completeness represented by the word aham. And he here says that all god and goddesses, maharshayaha, devaha, I am actually the first, because those who came after me have no power to know me in its full fervor. That's being said because that's the status of the substractum, the one without the second. Again, he goes, Mam, Ajam, unborn, Anadi, no beginning or end. Loka Maheshwaram, I am the Lord of the universe. Asammudha Samarthyeshu, Sarva Pabib, by knowing, not Sammudha, Asammudha, one who has transcended their limitation, they go beyond all the sinful thoughts, sarva pape pramuchyati. And it's called buddhi jnana vasam moha kshama satyam damashamaha sugam dukkham bhavo bhava bhayam cha bhayam evacha. Here the qualities which actually of Krishna, it's a intellect, wisdom, non-delusion, patience, truth, these all profound words actually to be discussed in detail. And our Shastras gives a very elucidated explanation of these words, and which is also helps us to steadfast in this seeking. Here it says calmness, pleasure, pain, birth, death, fear and fearlessness, all is none but Lord Krishna himself. And ahimsa samada tushtihi tabodhanam yajoshaha bhavandi bhava bhutanam matta eva pradakvithaha. So all these good things, non-injury, equanimity, contentment, austerity, charity, fame, all these different qualities arise from me. And in essence of all the virtues, the sprout is from Krishna and Krishna alone. Maharshe saptapurve chattvaru manavastada madbhava manasa jada te yesham loka ima prajaha. See, Sapta Rishis actually came out of me and from my mind, my sankalpa, madbhava manasa jadaha. This lokaha, now the world which we see is actually a descent from these 7 rishis as well as the Manavaha, the names all given, and Edam Vibhuti Yokam cha Mamayo Veti Tattvadaha, so Avikampena Yogena Yuchite Natra Samsheha. They will yoke, their individual soul will yoke with the Paramatma, once we come to know all this Vibhuti, will help us to yoke with the true nature of the Lord, one who know it in Tattva, in its principle, true principle. And it goes, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, Matta Sarvam Pravartade, Idimatva Bhajande Mambutha, Bhava Samanyutaha, Bhavadido Jivan Muktaha. When we exceed the limit of imagination, we plunge into super consciousness. Krishna here, he says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, and everything emanated from me. Matta Sarvam Pravartade, and all stays in me. Iti Matva, by knowing Natva, and after Pranama, one who has discrimination, one who has established or knowing that eternal principle, they will revel in me with their heart. Machitta Madgada Prana Bodhayanda Parasparam Kathayandascham Nityam Tushyanti Jaramantija. They will be always Hitasmera Midabhashanam. They will be always happy, not like us. Machittaha, one who has gone into my being, Madgada Pranaha, they will only sing the glories of me. And Parasparam Kathayandaha, they say nowadays we know that Bhagavata and glories of the Lord, glories of the Guru being sung by devotees, disciples, and they indulge in such devotional act to experience the Lord, and they remanti, they revel in me and me alone. Krishna says the way of reaching that happiness. And Tesham Sadada Yuktanam, one who is always steadfast in that. Bhajadam Priti Purvagam, with love, if they seek me, Dadami Buddhi Yogam, for them, I'll give a discriminative, sharp intellect by which they attain me. And Tesham Evanukambartam Jnanajam Tavaha Nashit Yatma Bhavato Jnanadibena Bhaswada. Here it says that out of pure love, compassion, I will revel in their heart. Hritpundarigastaha, who is always revels in Sankalpa, also is a Sankalpa comes when we feel duality. Sankalpa is to go back to that oneness, which we say Parameshwara Prityartham, Shri Krishna Prityartham, one who is reveling in the heart lotus to please him and to experience him in his full fervor. And I destroy the ignorance in born in darkness and illumines that wisdom in them, as Krishna says. And Arjuna then asking, by knowing all these qualities, he is asking Parabrahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Adidevamajam Vibhum. I know that you are the Supreme Brahman and you are the abode of all the beings and the Supreme Purifier. By knowing you, you will become pure, eternal, and you are the Divine Purusha. Here it says, unborn, omnipresent. He is always that presence. One of the master was saying presence is the present given by the Lord or Guru. So one who actually experienced that presence, as Adi Shankara also says, Panigrahana Paripadi Bhalamitam, to hold the hand of Mother, hand of the Lord, Guru, is the ultimate reward of all the austerities. As we strayed out and feel fallen, and we have to get up because of many other things, merits, demerits, actions with attachment, we have strayed out and we are seeking again to hold the. And also in Lalita Sahasranama says that by placing the necklace at the neck of Mother, Divine Mother, Shankara, Lord Shiva has got Jagadishega Padavin, Adi Shankara says. He become the Lord of the universe. So here, Divine Mother, who is none but this cosmos, to experience the Lord, we have to know Mother as love and light and seek her, which is nothing but Gita, Bhavadveshini, Bhagavati, Ambe, Tom Anusandathami in the invocation. So here again it goes Sarva Medadridam Manni Yanmam Vadasi Keshava. Nahi te Bhagavan Viktim Vidurdeva na Danavaha. He says the greatness of the Lord, and I would like to know about your manifestation. Then Krishna says, as we know, Aishwarya Vidya Kirti Shri Jnana Vairagya Veshmane, the six qualities of the Lord, Lordship, which is being said. And he says that Soyam Evatmanatmanam. Actually, so Mahimnistitaha, there is a word used. Where is the Lord? He is in his own greatness. He himself knows him. No others know him in full. O Purushottama, O source of beings, O Lord of beings, of gods, you, O ruler of the world. And that glory goes to the Lord because he is everything. And that glories of the Lord actually contends to tell without reserve of your divine glories. You are pervading all these worlds. It says, Vyapya Tishtasi. And here, so asking, Katham Vidyamaham Yogin Swam Sada Parijindayan, Keshu Keshu Jabhaveshu, Chindosi Bhagavan Maya. And he's asking with reverence, how can I know? How may I know, O Yogin, constant by constant meditation? And your aspects of you in different various ways, O Lord, thought of by me. Then here, he is also asking in detail, Vibhuti, the glories of the Lord. Janardana, he says, for as we say bhukti mukti, the word enlightened saying to have material pleasures as well as liberation hereafter, enjoyments, and for emancipation. That word is used, Janardana. Please let us know all Vistarena. There Krishna takes over and saying all those Handate Kadeshyami Divyakhyatma Vibhutaya Pradhanyada Guru Shrestha Nastyando Vistarasya Me. Here, I be pleased to Arjuna's question. Krishna says, I will enumerate my divine glories in prominence, like he says, because which will take thousands of years to explain, because he himself said, Matta Paradaram Nanyat comes, Ahamatma Gudakesha. It is very difficult to enumerate my manifestation in details. And he concludes saying that Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashe Astita. Aham Adishcha Madhyamcha Bhutanam Anda Evacha. I am the beginning, I am the end, I am that Atma which resides in every being. I am the self. And Adityanam Aham Vishnuhu. Jodisham Revir Amshuman. Marijir Marudam Asmi Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Here there are certain principles being enumerated. As we practice certain things in adoring the Lord, there is certain Trinity comes, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Sattva-rajas, Tamas, Agni, Surya, Soma, Rigeju, Sama. All these Shankaracharya also ask, Janako Janite, Janani Japaniyam Jabavithau. There is methods to adore the Lord, adore Divine Mother. So here all these great manifestation of the Lord, which comes, I am Vishnu, among the radiant, I am the radiant sun, Maruts, as well as moon. Here, mother, father, as well as the Samarasya of, I am, it comes actually saying, said also, Pitamahasya Jagataha, all those things. Vedanam again saying Samavedosmi, Devanam Asmi Vasavaha, Indriyanam Manaschasmi, Bhudanam Asmi Chetana. I am the Veda, Sama. Among the Vasava, I am Devas. Senses, I am the mind. And I am the consciousness in all beings. What to say in nutshell, repetition of the same. I am in the best. The words come in Veda, Rudranam Shankaraschasmi. I am Rudra among the Shankaras. Sham Karoti is Shankara, one who gives us the true happiness is Shankara. Rudra, we cry. Rud is actually to make us cry for worldly pleasures as well as for the Lord. So here Rudranam Shankaraschasmi, Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam, Vasunam Pavagaschasmi, Meru Shikharinam Aham. Here among the Yakshas I am Kupera, and Vasus I am Pavaka. Of the mountain I am Meru. All this Meru is also, we know, Parvata Putri. Actually, again, static and immanent. The Divine Mother, his birth is actually as the father is none but as Kalidasa says in his Kritis. So here it again says, Purodasam Mukyam Mam Vidhipartha Brahaspadim Senanina Maham Skandaha Sarasam Asmi Sagaraha. All these unsimiled great glories of the Lord, which says actually Sagaraha and God, as well as few things alone cannot be simile to anything. So as if it says great masters, Anubhava eva anubhavavat. Experience is experience because it is experience. That is why bhakti anubhava, which cannot be translated, bhakti is anubhava, and with which we can see God in everything, being enumerated again, Maharshinam Burgraham, Eka Aksharam, which is Omkara, Yajnanam Japayasmi Stavaranam Himalaya. Again, Stavaranam in the static, I am Himalaya, and Yajnanam Japayajnosmi. Omkara, and here he says that Krishna Sri Bhagavan says, among the sacrifices I am Japayajna. When we are in distress, when our mind goes to the many in diversion, where in this Kali age, it is the best to chant the mantra of the Lord. Here it says, when we are in distress, as Shankaracharya says in Devi Aparadha Kshama Stotra also, that when we are in distress, Apati Kim Karaniyam, which is by Apati Kakasheri Bhateri, Apati Kim Karaniyam Smaraniyam Charanayugalam Ampayaha. Tat Kim Kurude Brahmatini Api Kingarim Kurute. Same thing is being said in different places. When we are distressed, we have to meditate upon the lotus feet of the Lord, lotus feet of the Mother. That will actually, one who gives us the different thoughts is none but the Lord, none but Divine Mother. By meditating upon her lotus feet, we can transcend that slowly by her grace. And all those things are Chaisravasam Vidhimam Amrudotbhavam, Airavadam Gajendranam, Naranam Chanarathipam, all these Ayuthanam Aham Vajram, Dhenu Kamathuk, Prajanaschatpi Kandarpaha, Sarpana Vasugi, all these characters comes in actually in the Purana as well as in our epics being said, it is me and me alone. Naganam Anandaschat Naganam Varuna Pidranam Adhyamaschasmi Yamas Samyamaham. Among the controller, because we have in yoga Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyayama means ultimate controller is Yama. We are in time, and when the ultimate controller takes us off, it's the total control, which is actually the Lord of Death in reality. That is none but my glory alone. And Prahladashasmi Daityanam, among the Daitya Asuras, Prahlada, one who by adoring the Lord, giving his mind to the Lord, he will become immensely happy. That word itself says Hlada, Prahlada, Praharshena Hladaha, Prahladaha. And among the Daityas, I am Prahlada. Mriganam Mrigendroham, Vainadescha Pakshinam. Among the animals of the forest, I am Simha. Swayameva Mrigentrida. Vivekananda Swami always says the lion is none but the king of the forest. He has taken up that by himself. That might be the reason Durgama taken lion as her Vahana. And also goes here Daityasayam Prahlata, all those, and it goes Pavana Pavadamasmi, Rama Shastrabdamaham, Jashanam Magaraschasmi, Srodasamasmi Jannavi. Here it says, among the wielders of weapon I am Rama, fishes I am shark, and rivers I am the Ganges. Sarganam Adirandascha Madhyam Jaivaham Arjuna, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, Vada Pravadadamaham. Sarganam in the creation, I am the beginning and end. Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam, among the Vidyas, I am the self-knowledge, as well as Vada Pravadadamaham. And in Vada, one who debate, I am the reason for it. Actually, I give them the intellect. I give the discrimination as Shankara, who has gone into Sarvajna Pitha, because to establish Session Dharma, I give them sharpened intellect and the reason to actually debate. Aksharanam Akarosmi Dondus Amasigasyaja, which is being said, I am the Akara. Here Atuksha, Aham is the I is the first letter, and which also comes in the Omkara, and Dondwa, giving equal importance to in Samasa. Dondwa Samasa is actually Ramakrishna. That giving it to equal importance. Hameva Akshaya Kalo Dadaham Vishwadomukha. I am the dispenser facing everywhere. And Sarvadomukhatvam is actually the glory of the Lord, the nature of the Lord. And Mrityu Sarvaharashchaham Udbhavascha Bhavishadam Kirti Shrivakcha Narinam Smridir Metha Didikshama. All these qualities, nothing but me alone. Brahasamas Tatha Samnam Gayatri Chandasamaham Masanam Margashirshoham. January Masam, which is actually Margashirsha, Ridunam Kusumakaraha. In the Ridus, I am the Kusumakara, where the flowery spring. All those best in the creation is nothing but me. Even in the other side of Adharma, Chutam, Chalayadam Asmi, Tejat Tejasvinamaham, where there is actually brilliance and glories or power, which you have to know that it is me and me alone. That being Krishna says, Vrishninam Vasudevosmi, Pandavanam Dhananjaya. You in Pandava, you are actually the best character. I am Dhananjaya, that it seems that he himself alone exists. Muninam Apyaham Vyasaha. Vyasa's pen picture is actually out of compassion. He has given us this great mighty tattva, Krishna tattva, Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. Actually, all this being said, Maunam Chaivasmi Kukhyanam. For one who knows the truth, they are in silence. That's why actually it says Maunam Guhyanam. Nischaladatvam. Nischaladatve Jivan Muktihi. That is nothing but the standstill, reveling onto that static. To the truth is actually Nischaladatva said here, Jnanavadamaham. Yashasmi Sarvabhudanam Bijam. I am the seed of everything. And all these moving and unmoving exist in me. Without me, they have no existence. And there is no end for my glories. Vibhudenam Parantapa, the sculpture of both fold. Eshad Uddeshada Prokta. I have in a guesswork told you all this Vibhudi of mine. And again, this is Srimad Urjidam Evava. This is actually manifestation is I am using my own power, that is nothing but Maya, to create an dissolution of this manifestation. I am the source. Tatta Devavagachatvam Mama Tejo Amsha Sambhavam. This one is actually from my effulgence shining forth, that aspect of that light aspect of me, the power which is from me alone, Teja Amsha Sambhavam, which is one digit of my Tejas, Adhava Bahu bahunetena kim jnadena tavarjuna vishtapyavam krishnam egamshena sthido jagat. Actually, athava bahunedena, what actually, why, no need to explain much. Arjuna, this detailed knowledge, this entire cosmos is nothing but among the 100, one digit is all pervaded, and this creation is pervaded by me and me alone. That aham padartha, that supreme consciousness who makes me to talk, to listen, eyes are blinking and opening only because of his consort, the immanent Mother's Shakti. I surrender these words out of ignorance. I have actually uttered some abstract words, or I'm not actually a real this thing out of not compassion, passion. I am actually explaining this thing and seeking forgiveness if any wrong utterings, wrong pronunciation, as well as meaning, if it confused or not understood, I actually seek apology and surrender these words at the feet of Guru, feet of the great compassionate master, who is none but actually the Lord of the universe, Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you so much, Sunilji. Wonderful explanation of Gita chapters 9 and 10. Now Krishna says it's only a small part of his vibhuti, but you have taken that vibhuti and you have explained it so very beautifully to all of us. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite everyone, if there are any questions, we do have time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute and please ask Sunilji. Or if you want to put a question in the chat, also I'm monitoring the chat. I'll be happy to read that out to Sunilji. While you're thinking about a question or how you want to phrase it, let me just take a moment to share about the upcoming events for Gita Jayanti. So the next we'll be having is on the 4th of October. We will be having the continuation of this Parayan and Satsang. We will be chanting chapter 11. So please join us on the 4th of October at 10:30. And then the conclusion of all of these Parayan will be on the 1st of December. So please mark your calendars for this. The 1st of December, Monday, is Gita Jayanti Day. That is when we are going to have the Sampurna Gita Parayan, chanting of all of the 18 chapters of the Gita at PGP Hall. It will be, since it's a working day, it will be in the evening from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please do join us for this event and for all the other events that are happening with Gita Jayanti. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me unmute everyone and let me allow you to unmute. So if you have a question, you can go ahead, unmute your microphone, and you can ask that question of Sunilji, or you can put it in chat. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. I'm not hearing any questions also. So I'll take this opportunity on behalf of Gita Jayanti to thank our lecturer of the day, Sunilji. Thank you so much. I will also like to thank our chanters who joined us, Manjula ji and Veena ji, for beautifully chanting chapters 9 and 10. We will have our closing prayers. But before the closing prayers, there's one other thing also I want to mention, that is, we still have some time to do what is called the Likhita Gita Samarpan. So what this involves is writing the shlokas of the Gita. If we start writing it even today, and we write 10 to 12 shlokas a day, it should probably take you 10 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes a day to write the shlokas. We invite you to write it and bring the book on the 1st of December. I just mentioned that on the 1st of December, we will have the Sampurna Gita Parayan. So if you can bring it on the Sampurna Gita Parayan day, we will place a written Gita in the altar, charge it with all of the chanting. We are expecting 300 to 400 people to join us for the chanting on that day. We will place it in the altar, charge it with all of the energies, divine energies, and you can then take it back and keep it in your puja room. So we invite you, if you have not yet started writing the Gita, this is a wonderful yajna, Likhita Gita Samarpan. Please feel free to start writing the Gita. You can write it in any language which you are comfortable with. Please do write and please do bring it on the 1st of December. With that, we will have the closing prayers. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, everyone. See you back in 2 weeks on the 4th of October. Jai Shri Krishna.